On Florida's Space Coast, you can do anything. Walk on water or learn to fly. Touch the stars or even another world. Lose yourself, but find each other. Just don't forget to look up. We're the only beach in the world that doubles as a launch pad. Because this, you can only do here. Start your adventure online at visitspacecoast.com.
3, 2, 1, lift off. Take one.
Today on 321 Liftoff, for the past 78 weeks or so, our podcast has spoken to all the fantastic attractions such as Kennedy Space Center, Port Canaveral, and all the cruise ships that come and go, Ranjan Surf Shop, Brevard Zoo, and our beautiful beaches. All these amenities and much, much more present a fantastic opportunity for entertainment companies to utilize our area and our truly dynamic backdrop for their production. Today, we'll go behind the scenes and learn how those who are charged with the responsibility to promote all the Space Coast has to offer actually do it. Who are they? We'll all find out next on 321 Liftoff.
3, 2, 1, liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Welcome to 321 Liftoff. I'm Wayne Belden, the president of Belden Communications, the publisher of the Space Coast Fun Guide and SpaceCoastFunGuide.com. We'll be bringing you 321 Liftoff each week, talking about tourism on Florida's fabulous Space Coast. With me is the host of 321 Liftoff, Bonnie King, former deputy director of the Space Coast Office of Tourism, as well as the past president of the Florida Film Commission. Bonnie, are we ready to blast off on 321 Liftoff?
Hey-o.
Yes, we are. We are podcasting from the new offices here at the Space Coast Office of Tourism right here in Cocoa Beach. This is their new location. They moved over the bridge from Cocoa into Cocoa Beach. We're in their new conference room, and joining us today is going to be Meagan Happel. She is the public relations manager and the film commissioner for the Space Coast. She has the privilege to promote the Space Coast to many people. She promotes the Space Coast. She connects to nature as you kayak down the Indian River Lagoon. She gets nose to nose and up close and personal with the Space Shuttle Atlantis at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. And there's unique experiences and unique locations around every corner that we have here on Florida's Space Coast. Is that right,
Oh,
Meagan?
it's absolutely true.
And she's going to tell us how she uses these locations to attract entertainment companies to come here and utilize our area as a backdrop for production in the entertainment industry. 321 Liftoff is brought to you, as you know by now, by the Beatside Hotel and Suites in Cocoa Beach. Great overnight vacation destination as you plan your vacation right here on the Space Coast. Also, Longboard's Tiki Bar, which is located at the Hilton Cocoa Beach, and they offer a fabulous ambiance for food and great drink and a great location to come up by the beach, and by the SpaceCoastFunGuide.com, where you will learn what there is to see and do in this fabulous area and where to do it. And joining me is our very own star, at least in his own mind. He is John Belden, Vice President of Belden Communications. Hey, I'm glad you're here.
I am glad to be here. I am a star in my own mind. Ask my wife, and maybe people don't
Ask
know this.
me too.
Ask you too. Wherever I go, I'm a star. There's a red carpet. But a lot of people don't know this, that I actually was an aspiring actor. I've always wanted to act. I didn't follow that path. I think I should have. So if you have any hookups, I'd love to be an extra in a movie. I could be one of those guys who just kind of walks by an alley, or I'm ordering some food or whatever. I think I can handle it. You just let me know what my role is. I got it.
Yeah, and you get paid for that too. Which isn't
But it's
bad.
fun.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to. I just, the Shakespeare thing wasn't really what I was interested in. I'm more of like a Jim Carrey actor, funny guy. But anyhow, I'll talk to you later after the show.
Sure.
And joining us is our producer, Phil Bird. How you doing there, Phil?
You know, I have actually been in 3 movies.
Oh,
Have you really?
Wow, Phil.
I didn't know.
I don't do anything, but I guess acting is one of them.
Wow. Well, I got to talk to you out as well.
Well, during this conversation with Meagan, you're going to have to tell us about some of these things that you have done.
Oh,
That'll be
actually, I
very
think
cool.
I've heard of one of them at least. So
I mean, one of them he may not have to. He
No.
may not be able to tell us about, but that's okay. We'll talk.
also joining us is my father, president of Belden Communications. How you doing there, Pop?
I am doing so fantastic, and you know the rest of that story,
you
right?
can't take it any
he
longer.
says it every week.
Right. Every week, how can you not be fantastic doing these podcasts?
true.
I mean, not only
Especially
that, but
today.
I know, and look at your backdrop.
I know. Look at my
Between-
backdrop.
yeah.
My God.
I mean, you
Let's keep it clean, guys. Keep it
Right,
clean.
absolutely. Yeah, and here we are in this nice, cool room, and I mean
Yeah.
cool. You know, there's been lots of space movies that have been shot here over the years, and I know our beaches have been used for some fashion photography and TV commercials. When they shoot a movie here, you never know if you will run into a famous person having dinner at your favorite restaurant or just hanging out at the beach. Those make for some real good public relations stories, which I'm sure we're going to hear from Meagan.
Absolutely. And as the past film commissioner for the Space Coast, I know the challenges that Meagan has trying to lure production here to not only the Space Coast, but also to Florida. Florida has no incentives, so we are seeing the state of Florida being used and being portrayed in other states, such as North Carolina, Texas, Alabama. They pretend like they're in Florida and it's another state.
They can imitate but never
Louisiana.
duplicate.
It's very, very confusing, and it's definitely not fun. And with it, they take our production crews away from Florida, and all the economic money that could flow into this area flows into the area. So those are some of the things that we're going to talk about too, because I know that we both work with Film Florida to try to encourage and get production and to get incentives to our area. So let's start our conversation and meet Meagan Happel, Film Commissioner for the Space Coast Office of Tourism. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for
Good
having
morning.
me.
Yeah, it's good. Well, first off, let's just say we love your digs. I mean, these are
Yeah,
really, really
it's
cool.
Absolutely beautiful. We just moved in, so things are still a little bit work in progress, getting settled. But all of us are really excited to be over here on Cocoa Beach.
Well,
could
I can't
smell the
wait.
beats from here,
Yeah, you really can, and I can't wait to see when the office is up and running and the pictures are on the wall. And I know around you always, have the big framed pictures of some of the movies and things that have been done here.
They're in their hallway right now.
They're in the hallway. Yeah.
They're leaned up against the wall, but we brought all of them with us.
Very cool, very cool. So tell us a little bit about your background and what you do and how you got this position and,
Sure.
and the role that you play.
Sure. So when it comes to my position, I am the public relations manager as well as the film commissioner, as mentioned before. And the vast majority of my role is as the public relations manager. And my background includes a lot of social media, communications, and all those things. I've worked in social media for Ford Motor Company, doing customer service for them.
Nice.
I worked just before this job, I worked over at the Brevard County Schools doing marketing and all kinds of communications for the food nutrition department. I've also worked at a communications firm that worked specifically with Florida Department of Transportation. So I have a very varied background.
Yeah, I see that.
But when it comes to the film side of things and entertainment, I grew up doing theater. I just did an improv performance a few months ago.
Say what?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wait, you got to tell us about. You can't glaze over that.
Improv.
Yes.
That is the hardest to do.
Terrifying.
So like improv
Absolutely
comedy,
terrifying,
or what do you
yes.
really?
Yes.
Really? Meagan.
Okay.
Wow.
Terrifying.
Like props and stuff. Like
Yeah,
whose
some
line
of
is it
yeah,
anyway?
it was very Whose Line. In
I always
fact, there was
wanted
a
to do
lot of-
that.
There was a lot of games that I have a contact for you that
Yeah?
I can give you. The fantastic Mario Busaka over at Surfside was the one who taught the class.
Okay.
I've known him and his family since I was in 3rd grade. So it was very exciting to get to reconnect and do improv, which has always terrified me. I'm
Yeah.
always the person when it comes to acting. Like, give me a script, I will memorize it, and then during tech week, I will forget everything and then be perfect during the run. It happens every time. It's the strangest thing, and I tell my directors every time.
Hey, it's a process.
I'm going to forget everything, just roll with it, and then I'll be flawless during the show. Happens every time.
Wow.
So improv, having to do it off the seat of your pants, that was something that had always terrified me, and I always thought I was terrible at. Turns out I'm pretty good at it.
Awesome.
Great.
Where is it? Is
Fantastic.
this done where people can come and watch?
Yeah, we had a class over a certain period of weeks. I don't remember how long it was. I think it was 10 weeks. And then at the end of it, we had a one-night performance that we
Okay.
sold tickets to at Surfside.
That would be fun.
Every so often they start a new class. I don't know when the new one is starting because I believe they just finished one in November.
But everybody there is nervous, right? I mean, everybody's terrified. So you're all in the same, in the same pool.
You know, when you think about it, what we're doing right now is an improv.
It is.
We're
improv.
flying from the seat of our pants.
is.
This is unscripted.
Right.
So feel
And
free to
for the
add
most
some
part.
comedy, like whatever, if you need some props.
I can go get some props from over there. I saw
Yeah,
that.
she has her prop right there. I love that.
Action.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's
awesome.
So that was something that I've always wanted to tackle because in this job and in a lot of my other ones, I do a lot of public speaking, like in interviews like this. So I figured that would be just one more feather in my cap to get used to things like that. And I really missed being on the stage. And I'm also a huge nerd, and I play Dungeons & Dragons every week. So being able to improv.
I like her.
I think,
Are you Dragon Slayer 6'8"? Is that you? No.
Not only that, but we play a little game where we ask you 3 things about yourself, and I think you've already given 2 things away. So I hope you have something
You're killing
else
my
hidden on
spot
your
over
sleeve.
here.
Right,
No.
right, yeah.
But it's got to make you a really good public speaker. If you could do improv like that.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, you can't be nervous when you're up in a room
Right.
full of
No.
people doing public speaking after
Yeah.
that. That's great training.
You've been
Yeah.
doing improv since you've been a very little boy, Johnny. I got to tell you.
I appreciate.
I mean, really,
well,
I want to see you do it. I think it would be great. But the other thing that I want to say is that I was not aware that we had something like that. So it would be great to know so that when it is for the viewing with the public, I'd love to tell our visitors, hey, here's another place that you can go and see some great comedy.
Yeah.
Maybe some great comedy and maybe not. You know how some of those improvs
True.
are.
Yeah. It definitely varies based on skill level.
Yeah.
And it was a beginner's class, so we had people that had never done it before
Sure.
at all. People like myself that had done some theater in the past, and then people that this was like the 5th class that they had taken, or they were even part of the Fearless Improv Brigade, which is the quote-unquote professional level of it at Surfside, and they also have frequent shows. I don't know how frequently.
Wow.
that's fun though.
But yeah, Surfside Playhouse over here in Cocoa Beach, fantastic. I'd be remiss not to quickly shout out all of our other wonderful theater programs: Titusville Playhouse, Henniger Center.
Beautiful. We have some beautiful playhouses
Yeah,
in this county.
Melbourne Civic Theater and Cocoa Village Playhouse, which is just stunning.
So and again, we can get like a schedule to find out when the next. I'd love to go watch one for starters,
too.
just to
Yeah.
see
Me
that.
too. I would too.
All of their websites have all of their schedules. We also have links to their schedules in a couple
Cool.
different places on our website. Visit spacecoast.com.
Nice. So if you're a visitor and you're coming here and you want to look for something real fun to do, I mean, heck, go watch an improv show.
Exactly.
That's,
Right.
I mean, come on. That's
And you just might see Meagan on stage.
Right?
Yeah.
There you
Awesome.
go. So let's go back to and talk about how you, as the Office of Tourism, entice and try to lure productions, which is very difficult
Very
right now
difficult.
because of the fact that we have no incentive. And, we have other areas right. We are the only state in the Southeast that does not offer an incentive.
really.
Yeah. So when they're looking at a beach, and we've gone through this before, and Meagan has, and it's when they're looking for a beach, and they look at North Carolina, and they look at the Space Coast. Let's just say I'm not going to say Florida. I'll say Space Coast. They go, okay, great, Space Coast, Florida. They're not offering any incentives. North Carolina, yeah, I can make this look like Cocoa Beach.
And we have the most to offer. I mean, that's the sad part.
I
We
know
have the
it
most
is.
to offer.
It's so sad. It's so
Wow.
sad. He's raising his hand.
Yeah.
He must have something to say.
Well, when you say incentives, what do you actually mean by that?
They'll
Incentive.
give money. I'm sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No. You want to talk about that?
But the incentives, how it works. and-
Sure. You might need to fill in some blanks on
Yeah, no problem.
the proper definition of it. But essentially, when a production comes to town, there are different kinds of incentives that a state or a county can provide. Oftentimes, the one that is most well known is a situation where they will essentially give you back X hundreds, thousands of dollars.
Yeah, like
Tax
20
breaks and whatnot.
They'll give you
Money.
a tax break. For example,
Money.
and not that I'm going to interrupt, but
Yeah,
for
go ahead.
example, for the state of Florida, is like if you come in with a budget, you have to only get you will get only reimbursed if you hire Florida crew. And you use Florida equipment, things of that nature, you can get reimbursed for things like that. So like 20% of maybe of your budget up to a certain amount of money, depending on how much you're spending in an area. So when you look at that, if you've got a $5 million budget and you can make back, 20% or whatever,
Right.
that weighs,
Right, of
we
course.
gotta go. So that's what happens with an incentive. Now, in the state of Florida, we have some big areas that are offering their own local incentives, such as Tampa, St. Petersburg, Tampa, St. Pete, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Broward County. They're all banding together, and Jacksonville offers a little incentive as well. But they offer, and then of course that takes away from like the little guy.
Right.
And one of the interesting things about the incentive for the state of Florida, because we just went to the Tallahassee to talk to our legislators, to get them to, we now have a bill that is both in the House and the Senate.
Which is very exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting because finally it's there. And we don't know if it's going to make it, but at least it's there to be talked
That's a
about.
step. That's a step.
It is a step. But and now, of course, I just lost my train of thought. But the idea is that it's in the making so that we can have it, and let's hope it passes, because if it does, then we can start to have, we'll be in that running again. Well, at least we'll be in some competition.
Mm-hmm.
We will be in the,
Consideration.
Exactly. And so right now we're just passed over, and it's not fun.
We've been losing billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Because films will go to other locations. A very good example is, as all of us clearly know, Space Coast, hello, this is the birthplace of the space program. We had the Right Stuff film here, which was fantastic.
Well, there goes trivia.
Well, that's okay.
Joking.
So the
We
Right
know
Stuff
one of the
filmed
answers
here.
now.
Oops.
Got to run everything by her, our guest teacher.
It's okay.
So the Right Stuff filmed here, and they ended up getting an incentive from California. Basically, California has a thing where if you started filming a series in a different state, or you started filming a movie in a different state, they will dangle this money and say, hey, no, you want to come to California? Because we're going to give you all this money to come here.
Wow.
So they gave a ton of money to the Right Stuff before it was even renewed for a new season, and then it ultimately got canceled.
It got canceled,
And then also,
that
on
was
that
sad.
same note, the other side of that story, so the Right Stuff was about the Mercury 7. There was also a book and TV show based on the book, The Astronaut Wives Club, which were the wives of the Mercury 7, which, again, took place down the street from where we're sitting right now. And that was filmed in, I've heard it was filmed in Louisiana. I heard North Carolina. I'm not sure which one's true.
Yeah.
But
what's true is it was not filmed
wasn't
here.
filmed here, exactly.
Yeah. And it was just taken away, which is so sad.
Three things you
go.
need to know. 3 things you need to know, brought to you by Beatside Hotels and Suites in Cocoa Beach. This is where you're going to learn 3 things that you need to know about our guest today, which we have an exciting guest in front of us, and I'm sure there's going to be more than 3 things that we got to take away. So if you can pick 3 of your favorite things that we definitely need to take away from today's interview, we'd appreciate that, about yourself and some fun facts.
Great. About me personally?
You
or-
yourself
be
or what
whatever
you
you
do.
want.
Absolutely.
Um,
We learned one, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have to count.
Improv,
I'm still
improv.
blown away about the improv thing, but yeah,
Yeah.
give us 3 things.
3 things. So one thing that I didn't mention earlier is that for a few years, I actually worked with the Orlando Film Festival doing social media and PR for them.
Cool.
And getting a chance to set up private screenings. We had Jojo Rabbit screen at the Orlando Film Festival the year that came out, which was very exciting because it was the Florida premiere of that particular film. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it.
I'll have to go check it out.
Taika Waititi, Scarlett Johansson, fabulous film.
Scarlett Johansson.
It's fabulous.
I'm a
film.
fan of her work.
It's a bit of a comedy, and it's not for everyone because they do get into some darker themes in it, but it's a beautifully told story. Number 2, I was a volunteer at the Brevard Zoo from the time I was 13 until I went to college.
Wow, look at you.
So that was a lot of fun.
What was your favorite
And,
animal?
The ball pythons.
The
Yeah.
pythons.
Pythons.
wow.
You're a snake girl.
How am I not
Hey,
surprised?
Did you wear it like around?
We weren't supposed to, but I may have.
Yeah.
You need to, Megan, you need to ask John what his favorite animal is.
Yeah,
What's
what's
your favorite?
Sloth.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
They are. I took my wife there. We went there for our, one of our anniversaries. I always try to do big stuff. And my wife is like to tears when she sees sloths. She just loves them. And so we did the animal encounter. And that year I was the best husband ever, let me tell you. And it was awesome. We got to do the hang out with the sloth. You don't get to touch them, but you get in there with them, the
Right.
sloths and the anteaters and all. It was very, very cool. So that's a great zoo. You definitely got to check out. For sure.
I love the Brevard Zoo. I'm obviously biased, but I distinctly remember when we first. Fact number 3, I was born in New York.
Hey.
Oh, where?
Yeah, we all.
Long
yeah.
Island.
Me too.
Levittown.
Nice.
Wait.
Amityville.
Dad, do you have any children you don't know about?
Amityville.
Suffolk County.
Yeah.
My wife's from Port Jefferson.
Oh, yeah. I have family there.
Right.
Yeah.
Could we be sister and brother? We don't know. Dad?
When I was in
She doesn't have a beard. Doesn't look like
second-
me.
That's right.
When I was in 2nd or 3rd grade or something, one of my teachers said to me, "Oh, you're from New York? That's where all the stars are from." So that's just kind of like been like
I
in
like
the
it.
back of my mind ever since I was a little kid. But I forgot what I was saying before I got on the tangent about New York.
One,
that's
two,
okay.
Oh, when
three.
we first moved down here, Brevard Zoo, right? When we first moved down here, I remember I was 5, 6 when we went to the zoo, and I remember seeing these girls wearing zoo polo shirts off to the side. They weren't even doing anything; they were just standing there. And I was like, "Mommy, I want to do that." And then, but 13 years old, put in my application to be a volunteer, and the rest is history.
Check it out.
Love
Check
it.
it out.
All
Always,
right.
always things going on
Excellent.
here on the Space Coast. So that is 3 things you need to know. Brought to you by Beatside Hotel and Suites, located in Cocoa Beach, Florida. Check them out at beachsidehotelcocobeach.com. They've always got things going on. They got game night, lip sync, karaoke. They got a heated lazy river. We love that spot. It's so cozy when you go there. It's a great spot to hang out. They've got dive-in movies. They've got duck dive bar. They got fantastic food, which we had the pizza. We've had different items on the
Pretzel.
the
Pretzel's very good.
drinks. I mean, trust me, guys. You guys go check this place out. Plus, right now, still going on Toys for Tots drop off. So when you come here into the Space Coast, they're actually getting tons of stuff dropped off from visitors and locals. So you definitely want to bring in a gift. It's for a great cause. And if you go on their website, they've got all kinds of different specials, whether it be cruise packages, snooze and cruise, flying cruise, AAA, and military discounts, because the manager there, Michelle Martinell, she's a big advocate for our military. So definitely check them out at Beatside Hotel, cocobeach.com. Great thing about the Space Coast is it's the only beach that doubles as a beach and a launch pad. Only here can you enjoy a beach day and you get a rocket launch. I mean, that is unique to our destination. So there's always something going on, and there's no substitute to experience the sights and sounds in person. So if you're listening right now to this podcast and you're in New York, Texas, wherever you are, get down here. Get down here. Check out Beatside.
What
Hotel,
are you
cocobeach.com.
waiting for?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus,
and-
it's 80 degrees.
I mean, come on.
Very
The
warm
weather
outside.
is so
That's right.
beautiful, isn't
Yeah.
it? What a
Oh,
great day
it's
today.
Beautiful. And since you mentioned the launches, every year we've just been getting more and more.
It's so exciting.
In 2020, we were the #1 launch site in the world.
Nice.
By a lot. And then this year, I think we've tied it. So I want to say it was 31 or 32 launches last year, and so far it's been keeping track.
So
Great.
can't a movie I mean, I know that launches get scrubbed, but can't movie production companies, couldn't they do a movie and tie in with a launch and a
sure.
live launch?
Oh, yeah.
Not a pre-record, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They should. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I've
a huge
had
incentive.
conversations with people about that.
That's a huge incentive, I would think. Come to Florida, you filmmakers. What are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing?
Just speaking of that, let's go back to Apollo 13.
Sure.
If you saw the movie Apollo 13, and I hope everybody did because
Yep.
it was so good, but there's a scene in there that everybody scoffed at because he said, "Come on, that's not real." And that is when, remember, I can't remember his name, the guy that didn't get to go up. Because he had the flu or something, he was not allowed to go up. So he watches the launch leaning against a Corvette or something. So he leans against this Corvette, and then the launch goes right behind him. Well, you can't be that close when that launch goes
Right.
up. So that was like, they took some creative license. And as we know, that movies do that all the time. But I remember when it happened, it was like, no, you got to be realistic. It can't
Right.
look like it happened
Right.
right behind him. In fact, I'm surprised the smoke just didn't get in his eyes as he was, watching the launch.
He
go
got a
up.
real good tan hanging
But
out there.
so much fun that we can say that we were home and that we had a location that was in a movie. And even sometimes to be in a movie where you may not even be Florida, you may be Ohio or something. I know we do a lot of commercials or have done a lot of commercials where, especially during the wintertime when it's too cold in New York or whatever, and they need to do commercial, they'll come to Florida to film a commercial, and they may be Ohio. They may be so you have to look like Anytown, USA.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of our downtown areas that could be
Right.
Anytown, USA. So, you have to look around and you've got to say, okay, is this a great location? And not only do you look for beautiful locations, which we definitely have, but you also, I know you want to ask a question, but I'm also going to say, but you also want to find locations that, maybe you need.
Versatile.
Yeah, maybe you need something that looks like, in the hinterlands that somebody buries a body or something. You got to have
Bonnie.
Bonnie's
Got a side gig over here.
Well, because
You've been doing some Jimmy Hoffa over here.
You got to look at stuff like that. It's just fun because when you see a location, you have to put it in your mind to say, I got to remember that because when that lead comes through, you want to be able to say, hey, I know a perfect location for that.
Yeah.
Phil, what did you want to say?
So I'm monitoring the chat here on Facebook, right? We got some actors actually
Facebook.
in the comments.
Oh,
here.
some actors, great.
Prince Easton.
Yes.
Easton
Oh,
was
hey,
an extra
Prince.
in that film.
Yes.
He actually says he's actually going to a film right now to go film right now.
Oh,
Nice.
Prince has done fabulous.
Prince, give me a call, Prince.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's wonderful. I'm glad you're listening. That's wonderful. He wasn't. There's a lot of extras. And I remember when we did Contact, they needed 2,700 extras to line around the beach area or watch and then in Contact it explodes. So 2,700 extras who are only seen on the screen for probably half a second.
Yeah.
But everybody, not everybody, but probably a good 30-40% of those people had to go through wardrobe and had to be dressed appropriately.
Yes.
So, and they got paid extra because they were told what to wear. And if they tell you to bring your own clothes, you didn't get paid the extra $10. But if you did, you got paid. But anyway, unbelievable that that scene, just for the time it took, because I actually went out there with some friends and we were in there, and we did get paid our $10 extra. That we got to wear their clothes, but. It's just amazing, isn't it, that they spent all that money.
All that time.
My nieces were in Dolphin Tale over there in Clearwater.
Yeah.
Many, many years ago when they shot that. And, it was all day for like one little scene. And I think my wife, actually, I'm sure she's screaming at me right now that she's watching, but I believe she was on it one of the days too. But so so the amount of work that goes into it.
Yeah.
That's why it takes so many months or years sometimes to make these movies.
It really does. My mom was an extra on Contact and Armageddon, so
There you go.
I saw as a child firsthand how often she needed to go out to that. Hi, Mom, you're going to watch this later, I'm sure. So that was also one of those things that kind of gave me a bit of the entertainment bug in terms of Space Coast being that close. And I remember going to see those movies when they came out. My mom going, there's my arm, there's my car. And
I don't know, it's really your arm. I mean, seriously.
I was able to recognize it. I don't know.
I'm going to say you know that you can claim it, but let's go back to
I think she
Dolphin
remembers
Tale.
where she was standing in.
No, I'm just saying that's what I would be saying. Like, how do I really know it's your arm? But no, of course, that's awesome.
But going back to Dolphin Tale, when that movie came out, and it was a little aquarium that was really needed help, but that movie elevated, and they made enough money so that they could create a new aquarium and build on and do much better. Then they did the second Dolphin movie, and now the money that was made through that, the gentleman that was part of it has now left the aquarium, and he's bringing movies to that area. Now his job is being a producer and bringing in Hallmark movies and Lifetime movies into that area.
And the cool thing is, up until recently, if I understand correctly, you could have gone and seen Winter there.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
Winter just
Yes.
passed
Yeah, that's what I
away
heard.
last
That's
month.
very sad.
but how cool is it to watch the movie, right? And then
Right,
okay,
and
now I
then
can
go-
go to Florida. I can
Exactly. Go to the location and see.
see that.
You Bonnie, you have some very interesting stories, behind the scenes stories in your past position as the president of the Florida Film Commission.
Maybe some I can tell and something I
And
can't.
I'm interested in hearing the story about you and George Clooney. I understand that you got to spend some time with George when they were down here filming. Tell us some of the things that went on with you and George, Bonnie.
Not a lot. Not a lot. But,
Rats.
no, just showing locations or whatever. But there was something I was going to say, and when you talk about George Clooney, get around George Clooney, you know how you can feel when you're
Bonnie
around George
Clooney.
Wow.
Bonnie Clooney has a good name to it these days. Right?
It does have a
She's
good
turning
ring
red.
to it. That does have a good ring to it, doesn't it?
It does.
But it's interesting because we were in the running to get Edward Scissorhands, and I think I've
was a
mentioned that
great
before.
movie.
It was a great movie, and Tim Burton was here, and it was going to be we were really excited. They were going to film in Cocoa North,
Really?
which is the area that they had picked. And when it came right down to it, they selected Tampa, and I was just heartbroken because it was in the bag. I mean, we already made all the arrangements with people that were painting their houses and things of this nature. And I was like, wow, what happened? Well, I was just devastated. And Tim Burton told me, he said his crew works till probably 7, 8 o'clock at night. And then when they get off, they want to go out and have a good time and go to the bars and things of that nature. And we just didn't have that here. So they picked Tampa so that the crew would have places to go and things to do afterwards. So
But I got to ask, I'm just curious, the mentality, right? Because that movie was a great movie.
it was a great movie.
And I'm trying to think of what would stand out to need specific location. Like, okay, so they were looking at Coco, right? Coco North?
Yes, because they needed the houses to all look alike. If you remember the movie,
yes.
all the houses were like,
Were identical.
were identical.
Like Stepford Wife type thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they were painted different colors, so to speak, the pastel colors. And I can remember when we went on that location, and you probably have some great stories that I'd love to hear, but we went on that location in a limo. Because a friend of mine had a limousine, and so we picked him up and his crew and whatever and took him around in a limo. So you can imagine what it was like driving. Coco North is a small little community with little houses, etc. And you can imagine what it must have looked like when we drove up in this big limo, and then all these guys get out, and they dress. They were all in black, Tim Burton definitely, but all the crew was in black. And then they're looking at the lawn, they're looking everywhere, and I mean the neighbors were coming out like, "What the heck?
Right.
What is going on?" I think location scouting for a movie is really fun when you read a script and then you say, "Oh, I've got the perfect location for this," or "This is what they can do here," you know? So have you had any of those lately that you've been able to take a script and
Not really. Most of the things that have come through have been House Hunters, My Lottery Dream House, a lot of HGTV style and reality shows like that. We have had a couple of, and commercials as well. We have had a few independent features come through. There was one called Church of Darkness that filmed here, that entirely local crew. Everybody involved with it was local, and I helped them secure a location with Field Manor, and both of them were incredibly complimentary of the other. So that was very exciting. One of the libraries as well. So it was wonderful to hear from Field Manor that they had such a great time with the crew and that they'd be happy to do more filming in the future. And it was also, of course, fabulous to hear from the crew that they loved Field Manor. So that's one of the things that always makes me a little nervous when I start helping people out with different locations is, I hope that this crew, is a good one and that they don't have a negative experience.
Well, and they all talk to each other.
Right.
And I will never forget, I say another thing, I will never forget that I was taking Tim Burton around and we were driving around and he wanted to know about Ron Howard. How is it like, how did you like working with Ron Howard and Tom Hanks or whatever? And, I'm acting like, yeah, well, it was pretty cool. But, for somebody to ask you that, but I said, well, I know they had a great time filming here. Everything went great. I think that they would say nice things or whatever. He phoned Ron Howard right there in the limousine. Yeah. And anyway, it was a very interesting conversation between three of us or whatever. But is that cool or what?
That's cool.
Space
All
Coast
right.
Trivia. Talking about cool, talking about knowledge. Space Coast Trivia brought to you by Longboard's Tiki Beats Grill, located in Cocoa Beach, Florida, where we get to test and see the knowledge of us here at 321 Liftoff and our guest. So, Mr. Phil, what you got there for us there, Mr.
Oh, boy.
Phil?
So today is going to be a little different.
Oh,
I didn't want to just do what movies were filmed in Space Coast because you would have you and Bonnie would have destroyed the two of them.
Thank you. He's looking out for us. Good man, Phil.
So it's still two teams. So it's Bonnie and Meagan versus John and Wayne.
Okay. All right, girl.
But this one is going to be a little different. This is an audio experience here.
Ooh.
I have famous movie quotes,
Oh.
the actual audio from the films, and you need to tell me what movie it's from.
Okay.
No multiple choice.
Okay.
Oh, no more.
Oh, boy.
Hey,
All
Phil, I have
right,
to
all
say,
right.
you
All
are
right.
doing good.
Being that we're John Wayne, we better get this stuff right.
I mean, I talk
okay.
to
Little
No,
lady.
how do we do it? Do we have to say, like, I want to answer? How do we do
Say
it?
your name, right?
Say our name.
This one, I'm going to let it fly. First one to blurt it out
Okay.
gets a point for the team.
Okay.
Okay.
Shout it
Because
out.
these are very recognizable.
Okay.
No
boy.
holds bars.
All
Okay.
right. So I'm not going to put the music because.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
This is
First
fun.
one. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?
Oh.
Clint
Dirty
Eastwood,
Harry.
Dirty Harry.
One question.
there you go.
Do I feel lucky?
All right. So 1 point.
That was
I was
good.
going to say Clint Eastwood. I read the movie.
I know the quote. I just didn't know the movie. It's all right. I get half a point in my own mind.
We said both. We said Clint Eastwood and Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry.
All right, here we go.
Are you crying?
League of Their Own.
There's no crying in
Tom Hanks, League of
Yeah,
Their Own.
League of Their Own, good.
I have said that for so many years after that too.
crying in baseball?
Some of those things really stick in your mind, right? Like my kids will be crying. We'll do it with Christmas lights. There's no crying in Christmas lights
My instinct is to finish the quote instead of saying the movie name.
because that's fun to say the quote. Yeah, that's right.
All right,
That's
so it's
great.
1-1.
Oh my
All
gosh.
right,
It's getting hot in here.
here we go.
Love that movie.
Next quote here.
Do you want to play what? Okay.
Scarface.
Say hello to my
Little friend. Nice. Pacino.
Very good. That was on last week, believe it or not, and I watched it again.
That's a holiday movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on Hallmark Channel, right?
There's a lot of snow in there. If you know
Well,
what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
Yes.
Oh boy.
All right,
Thanks for the audio.
next movie.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I want the truth.
Oh,
Few
liar.
Good Men.
Truth.
Who said
A
that?
Few Good Men.
There you
I
go.
said liar.
Man, you guys too
That
fast
was
for
good.
me.
That was good.
That's
Pretty good.
another
Yeah.
really good movie. That's your boy right there too, Tom
Yeah.
Cruise.
Yeah. All
You
right.
can handle the truth.
All right, here we go. Next movie.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Jaws.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Very
Wow.
good, Megan.
We see why you have that position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Talking
good.
movie quotes. Like,
All
Very
right,
good.
so it's 4-1.
You got any baby shark or anything
so
over there?
this is the last one, and I'm gonna just say that this one is worth 4 points.
4 points. All right.
No.
Dirty Dancing.
No.
I had
No. Nobody puts
We-
baby in the corner.
Go.
Scream. Oh no.
Sixth Sense.
Very good.
I thought it was gonna be.
Yes.
You're good. You're
Yes,
good.
very
June.
She's
good,
good.
Megan.
That's
Very
why
good.
she's got the job.
Well, today's
Very
winner.
good.
Fun fact: out of all those movies, I think I've only seen 2 of them.
Really? You just know
Wow.
of them.
Yeah.
Well, we keep you on your toes here at
Wow.
Space Coast Trivia. Space Coast Trivia brought to you by Longboards Tiki Beach Grill in Cocoa Beach, Florida. Again, when you're coming on the beach and you want to hang out and then it's time to come off the beach, you want to come off at Longboards Tiki Beach Grill. They've got 2 awesome tiki bars there, awesome furniture, lounges, awesome drinks. I mean, the place is awesome if you can't get the rift of that.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
That's his
TVs,
favorite word,
NFL
awesome.
ticket. They got huge bars, lots of cold beer on tap. Excellent food. Go check them out. Right there in Cocoa Beach. They're at the next to the Hilton Cocoa Beach, and they're open Christmas Day. They're open all day, so you definitely want to go check them
And they're
out.
serving. I hear that they're serving a Christmas dinner as well.
Yeah, well, it's all day, all 3
Yeah.
meals. So yeah, let me tell you, man, it's a real good spot. I like their Caesar salad. That's kind of my jam. But whether it be a burger, steaks, whatever, the food there is absolutely fantastic. The ambiance is real good, and the bartenders, they're a heavy pour, if you know what I mean. There, Phil.
Heavy Pour is my rap name.
That's right. Yeah, so check them out at longboardstiki.com.
Absolutely. And we did have a little bit of a cold spell not too long ago, and actually we were out there having some wine, and they actually had the little fire going there, so that you're sitting around on the chairs with the fire going. So I enjoyed that. You were going to say something,
Oh
Megan.
yes, I was just going to say. Speaking of Christmas Eve, Surfing Santas is back. Just want to
Yes.
give a shout out.
Right.
Coconuts on the Beach, 8 a.m. On Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
Come check it
We
out.
had them on our
we
show
had
last
them
week.
on last
I've
week.
got them on my collar right
Very
here.
excited.
My pin.
Good for you. You did that. That's
Yeah.
great.
Hey, man,
George
I
and
want to ask
Peanut.
you, what's your favorite movie? Since you're the commissioner, what is your favorite movie? What can you watch every day?
I'm going to steal a quote from the great Adam Savage of Mythbusters. Every film aficionado has like 50 films in their top 5.
Okay.
So off the top of my head, 2 of my favorites. I'll give you 3. Labyrinth is.
Okay.
I'll give you 4. Labyrinth, Princess Bride, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark specifically. Or no, I'm sorry. I love Raiders of the Lost Ark. Everybody says Raiders. My favorite is Last Crusade. So I will amend that. I will amend that answer to Last Crusade. And Ocean's 11.
Oceans is a great
Ocean's
series.
I can watch Ocean's 11 and quote the entire movie front
I
to
love
back
all
while
of
I'm
them.
watching it.
I love all the Oceans movie are fantastic. It's a great. They look like they're like really good friends. You
Yeah.
know, Brad Pitt and George Clooney and even Bernie Mac, the late Bernie Mac was fantastic. All of them were just a great crew. When you look at them, it's like, man, I want to get together and break in a casino. It looks fun.
Yeah. If you're ever doing a game of 6 Degrees of Separation, and
I
it
love that
doesn't
game.
have to go back to Kevin Bacon, but just everyone uses him, always try to get back to somebody in the Ocean's 11 crew because you will get everywhere, or somebody related to a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
Because, if you can connect somebody to Johnny Depp or George Clooney, you're going to connect them to whoever you need
Yeah.
to.
See, I was gonna do that for trivia, but I had to change because like this, she'll win. So like I was gonna do the movie Chain Gang. You ever play that
I
game?
used to do that in high school all the
Yeah.
time, where we would take
You guys know what that is?
two completely like Tim McGraw and I was going to say
Cisco.
Billie Eilish, but that doesn't work. But
Say
another
Ben
random
Affleck.
actor.
Let's just say Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, yeah. Tim McGraw to Ben Affleck, and my friends and I would just sit there and just use our mental IMDb.
Oh, and you have to connect them.
Yeah.
Right.
This
You know how
person
they-
was where
right.
this person who was with. Yeah, I got you.
In as few moves as possible.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I'll get it eventually, but I mean,
I'll try that one too.
next week's show we'll come back to see if you got it.
Who did I say the other one was?
Tim McGraw
Tim
and
McGraw
Ben
to
Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
So she's going to sit here and she's going to write it down.
Done.
She's going to
I already know it.
really.
Tim McGraw was in Friday Night Lights with Garrett Hedlund, who was in Triple Frontier with Ben Affleck. Boom.
Did you guys prearrange
Wow.
this? Is that what it was?
Wow, she's good.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And that was only like 2 degrees of separation.
Yep.
You know. Wow, I'm impressed. That's good,
All right.
Megan.
She's
really
smart.
good. Yeah.
That's why you can improv
Yeah,
because you're quick on your feet.
quick.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how it works when you get a lead. So you get a lead from California. We have a representative who represents Florida in California, Susan Sims.
Susan Sims, love her. She's amazing.
Yes, she is.
So that hasn't happened a whole lot in my term. So I've only had this position for about 2 years-ish at this point. But we do get leads from her and as well as Danielle up in the state office, as you well know. And those leads will come out with, we're looking for these kinds of locations. If you have anything that fits that, please reach out to the filmmaker. One that I just recently reached out to about that I can't give too many details on was a production that we wanted to do.
A documentary on me?
Yes, a documentary on you.
I knew it.
Something about they were doing an RV trip, and they were the RV trip was only a small portion of it. There were some other things that didn't fit into our area, but they wanted to have unique RV locations during the trip. So I wrote back and said, hey, we don't have anything for these things that you're looking for, but because you wanted to do unique RV locations, we have Jetty Park, we have the Sebastian Inlet State Park. Haven't heard back from them yet. But speaking of RVs, RV There Yet on Discovery Channel is going to be airing January 1st, the premiere of their season. The Space Coast episode is on January 29th at 8 a.m., so make sure you all tune in.
Great.
That
Great.
one was an incredible labor of love getting all of those locations taken care of. They filmed at Jetty Park and all across Port Canaveral. They interviewed Captain Murray. They interviewed someone from Wild Ocean. They went to Seafood Atlantic. They also went to Kennedy Space Center and interviewed an astronaut there. They got an airboat ride from Twister Airboats down at Lone Cabbage. They also...
They had a good time, it sounds like.
They had a great time. They had a great time. And at the end of every episode of RV There Yet, they go to a state park or a national park. And they were planning on going to the Everglades for that one, but unfortunately it got rained out. So they called me that morning, hey, can we get into what can we do? Yeah. So we ended up having them go to Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge. So it ended up being a 100% Space Coast
Oh, that's
episode.
wonderful.
That's great.
So we're very
What
happy about
a
that.
great name, too, RV There Yet.
Right.
I like
Yeah.
that name.
RV
cool.
There Yet.
It's a pun.
Now I get it. Yeah, because when you said it, I thought it was like another language, but I get it now. Okay, I get it. I'll never forget one time I was looking at just locations, and we have a place here called Honeymoon Hill or whatever, and it's got some really nice looking big houses. So
Wait, here?
Yeah.
Honeymoon Hill.
Honeymoon Hill. So I went up there, and when I went up, listened to me like we don't have hills here, I just
No,
went
but
up
that's
there.
a great name.
It is a great name. But anyway, I went up there, and this house was just really, really cool looking, and the backyard overlooked the river. So I thought, well, I'm just going to go introduce myself and just say, hey, this is a great location, just FYI for the future. So I go to the door, I knock on the door, and the guy that answers it is a guy that I know from HGTV.
Oh.
And he goes, oh my God, it's film commissioner. I go, what are you doing here? And he goes, well, we're filming. They were filming in that house. I had no idea. They snuck in without letting me know. And you
That
can do
happens a
that.
lot,
You can
unfortunately.
do that when it's private property, but we always like to know what is being filmed because we like to chart it and we like to say, hey, this was actually filmed here on Florida Space Coast. And he just he weaseled himself in and he got caught. But I had no idea.
What are the odds of that?
What are the odds?
That
of
was the gravity kind of pulling you there. because
Can't
so
pull
funny.
anything over on Bonnie.
Nope,
No,
she's-
but let me just give you another. So I remember Richard Crenna. If anybody remembers Richard Crenna,
Oh,
I'm trying to remember.
absolutely.
He was doing a stand-up for a documentary, and they used some of the area here at the port, and he was doing his documentary on the beach, and very windblown or whatever. And of course, I followed him around. Very nice guy. Very nice guy. Everybody that we came in contact with thought that I was his wife. And so it was really interesting because wherever we went, I was treated like Mrs. Crenna, and I could do it. And you know what? I didn't want to say no because it was just too much fun.
Right? That's
so
awesome.
little things
Royalty.
Like that. Oh yeah, it's fun. So anyway, those are just little things. And then I will say that when we've had some people here, they have taken advantage of our nightlife. I mean, we do have nightlife. Tim Burton, whether you like it or not, we do have nightlife here. But I can remember that John Goodman, Shia LaBeouf, and Tommy Lee Jones.
Wow, what a group.
What a trio.
Yeah.
They love nightlife.
I know Shy does. My goodness.
But let me just say that they're out having a good time or whatever, and they stayed out. I mean, not that I was with them, but I mean I would be hearing because they wouldn't get until late or whatever. But let me just say, they would wake up in the morning and you'd see them and you go, boy, you must have had a really rough night last night.
pros.
But boy, once that camera got on them, bam.
Lights on.
Yep.
They were amazing. I got to say, I got to hand it to you. So I guess, true actor, whatever.
yeah.
But, you can feel terrible, but then all of a sudden, there you
When
are.
it's game time, it's game time. Oh,
All right.
talking about fun things, we're going to keep it
Yes.
rolling with
Yes.
the Space Coast Fun Guide Deal of the Week. Space Coast Fun Guide Deal of the Week brought to you by Space Coast Fun Guide and SpaceCoastFunGuide.com, where you will learn what to see and do and where to do it. And this week's Deal of the Week is Fish Lips Waterfront Bar and Grill. Listen, you want to talk about fun things, fun places to go? Go check out Fish Lips Waterfront Bar and Grill located in Port Canaveral. You got an awesome view of the cruise ships that come right up to you. Casual waterfront dining downstairs. They got upstairs a covered patio, indoor sports bar, sun deck with tiki bar upstairs. Dad loves
Oh,
the
my
tiki
favorite
bars.
tiki bar, right.
Hot burgers, cold beer, fresh fish, fine wine. They got something for everybody. So we love our friends over there at Fish Lips. We've actually done our podcast there quite a few times.
Yes, we have.
Amazing food. I like the jalapeno poppers. I know, Phil, you like some hot food.
Oh, yes.
So get those jalapeno poppers are fantastic. The people are awesome. You definitely see the locals go there for a reason, and when you're a tourist, you can just blend right in.
I am there most every Sunday for their brunch.
Yeah, man. Let me
10
tell
o'clock in the morning it opens and you get free mimosas till 12.
They do it right.
So, yeah, we have a great breakfast and mimosas. So it's, say hi. I'm there.
you. Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
And it's cool to sit on that deck up there.
It is,
And
right?
watch those cruise ships go by. And
Yes.
they're only about 70, 75 yards away from you when
mean, you
they
can
go
touch 'em.
by. I mean, they're huge.
And it's very quite common that you could be sitting there and after it launch you see the rocket booster coming back
That's
into
true.
the port.
That's
so
true.
it's a real fun place to go. And when you use our coupon offer, you get 10% off your total dining bill. So you can either bring in the Space Coast Fun Guide from your hotel if you're here in market, or if you're still out of state and you're planning your trip like many of you do, go on our website, SpaceCoastFunGuide.com, go into the places to eat section, the dining section there, and print out your coupon for Fish Lips, save 10% off your bill. So thank
I
you guys
love
for being a wonderful client of ours, and we'd love to promote you.
Absolutely. And whether you're on your way to a cruise or you're here to witness a thrill of a launch or you're looking for a relaxing and a unique beach getaway, we want you to explore Florida Space Coast. And you can start by going to visit spacecoast.com, get all the information that you need. And maybe even if you call up there, you can talk to talk to Meagan and find out like what's happening in the area. We want to thank you for
When are
coming
you on
today.
Improving next? That's what we
Yeah,
want.
we want to know when.
I don't know. I don't know when the next class starts. I didn't do the last session, so
Maybe I'll see you there.
maybe.
All right.
That'll be good. But we really appreciate the time. And thank you for, letting us come here. This is a
course.
great place to be. Nice location. And we look forward to working with you in the future and seeing if we can't get those incentives passed. If you
Yes,
know your
please.
legislator, contact the legislator, tell them that they need to pass these bills and we need to get this thing going.
And more information about that on filmflorida.com.
There you go, filmflorida.com. Next week, Peter Cranis.
.com or is it .org?
.org. I'm sorry,
.org.
you're right, filmflorida.org.
The .com one is an old website that some people keep going to, and that's why I was
They should
There you go.
redirect. Is what
I
they
know,
should
and
do.
I was just following right along. What can I say?
filmflorida.org.
Next week is Christmas Eve, believe it or
Yes.
Oh,
not.
boy.
And your boss, Peter Cranis, the executive director of the Space Coast Office of Tourism, and Charity Stewart, who handles marketing for this Office of Tourism, are going to be our guests. And despite the challenges that we've seen in tourism for the past 2 years or whatever, you guys made a record collection this year in tourist tax collections. We've had a lot of visitation. We're lucky with our location. And so they're going to talk to us about tourism and the new things that are happening and all the great activities that are happening in 2022. So we'll look
much.
forward to that next year,
Yes.
next week as well. So
Christmas right around the corner.
Christmas is right around the corner.
it.
We want everybody to have a great holiday, and it's already in the air.
And
It's
let's
here.
give a plug to Serving Santa's Christmas
Yes,
Eve.
Christmas Eve. That's right. That morning,
Ho, ho,
8
ho.
o'clock. Well, 8 o'clock, I think they get started, but people start arriving like 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, he said
Oh,
get
yeah.
there early because the
Get there
crowd.
early.
Yep,
Yep,
absolutely.
to see Surfing Santas. And if you're in Texas, Washington, or wherever, you can see it on the air, because I do know that Good Morning America comes out and they take a shot, and they're going to show it, I think, on Christmas morning.
This year, it's not Good Morning America. It's actually Fox Weather.
Oh, great. Okay.
So Fox Weather is coming out, and they're
Wonderful.
doing some live feeds and live shots for
All right.
their morning show.
Awesome.
There you go. All right. Well, if we don't see you, have a nice Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Merry
You as
Christmas
well.
to all. Enjoy the holidays, and we will see you next week.
That's a wrap.